I ain't never made a fucking call, made a call to Diddy, really? I got Diddy's number, just hit him up. Yo, Diddy, what up? Never happened.
It truly is about the Benjamin, as we see.
Oh yes, he's glittering.
It truly is about the Benjamin.
Well, now when we come back, we're gonna talk more with Puffy, and if you want to hang out, more than welcome to stick around, my brother. All right, we'll be right back.
I get a little uncomfortable. I get uncomfortable. Like he said something to me one time, a long time ago. He told me he'd take me shopping. I looked at him like, what'd you just say? Let me move, man, before I do something. You gonna make me mess up the wedding.
Oh, that's a nice gesture.
Let me get out of no, dude, take me. That's what a guy says to a girl.
Diddy is spiraling out of control. And this time it's because 50 Cent has pulled the trigger on something that can't be undone. For years, the public has whispered about Diddy's past, about the strange rumors, the unsettling stories, the industry secrets that everyone seemed to know but no one dared to speak about out loud. People looked the other way, either out of fear of Diddy's influence or respect for the empire he built.
What's happening with Puffy? I know you're not really tapped in, but what
The last thing I saw was like a guy there. He was like, yo, he like pushed me into the truck. It really hurt. And he sodomized me. Like he sodomized me. I was like, yo, look, I could find other things to do for money.
Did you see the video?
I could find other things to do for money. But I'm not sure I can say that for money. Like somebody pushed me into a truck.
How much is this guy trying to get?
I don't know. Like it's a simple situation, but it's like
20 mil, I can say it.
You still have to black his face out. You still have to mimic his voice because he's like,
but his
damn.
voice wasn't even that different.
And a little deeper. I was like, almost like, no, that's you, young buck.
Yo,
I almost felt like it was him. I almost knew who it was. You know what I mean? I was like, nah, that's Buck. You trying to get his money right.
Yo, you can't say that dudes are having sex with other dudes, bro. The internet might come for you.
You say sweet love, sweet love.
Yeah, you gotta say make sweet love.
That's young buck breaking right there.
Make sweet love.
There's rules to rap beef now, bro.
Not
in your day.
Well, I'm saying like, God, man,
good.
why is your homeboy so close to you when you come out of there? Look like you guys just made sweet love. I'm gonna say sweet love instead of anything that says.
To me, that's better because they're gonna try to make it something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was smart. Like I didn't think about that. I say things that are borderline. Like I'm like, oh my God, you're in trouble.
You?
Like all the time. Because I just say.
Nah, but you got close when he offered to take you shopping.
Yeah, you see, Amika's in the same shirt. He's out there in the same shirt. This is not Photoshop.
Shit.
This is really happening. I'm just saying to you. No, stop it. Look, you set that up. Look, you set that up. There's he's in the same shirt.
What do you mean he's in the same shirt?
I obviously was not offended by what I was offended by. This is what I'm saying, bro. Like you go, I'm like, nah, it was odd. Like, this is some of the things that people say. Like, girls, guys may say to a girl, like, let me take a shot. See?
Damn.
They found it that quick.
What do you think is happening in the middle?
I don't know what is going on.
Wow,
there.
they found Kendrick and Wifey.
You
can't dress up Kendrick like that. Oh, you can't dress him up like that.
No, it's jokes.
That's like the white chicks movie, bro. You can't do that.
Yeah, that was comedy. That was good.
Yeah, but that
you get away with Wifey.
That's obviously doing shopping. They got the same outfit.
Yeah, it's true.
In public.
Yeah, that's a nice shirt. That was a nice shirt. All right, so when he said the shopping line in real life, what did you say?
I said, let me get away from him. Because it was like, he was like, yo, you hot now. Now we got to hang out now. Like, hang out.
Yeah.
He said, I don't know, maybe I'll take you shopping and I get you some flash and you could give me the hood shit. And I was looking and I was like, let me just move away from him because I'm going to mess up the wedding. I always say to myself, like,
it was someone's wedding?
It was Chris Lighty's wedding. It was in Miami. Nori's there. Nori knows this because I looked at him like, yo. You heard what he just said, right? He's like, yo, certain things they let it go by because it's Puff. Like they would look, like he would say stuff, and it's like he wasn't like in the closet, he was like in the hallway. Now you see so much shit that you go, wait. No, this was visible.
He was in the hallway. We saw the video.
You saw that video. It comes out later. You're like, that's not the closet. That's the hallway.
But 50 Cent has never been one to look the other way. He doesn't care about the politics. He doesn't care about burning bridges. And he definitely doesn't care about who gets offended. And now, he's exposing Diddy's darkest past in a way that's forcing everyone to pay attention. The thing about 50 Cent is that he knows exactly how to play this game. He doesn't just throw out accusations recklessly. He builds tension. He drops clues. He posts a cryptic comment, lets the world talk about it, and then doubles down with another revelation that's just damaging enough to keep people glued to the story. He's been doing it for years, but this time it's different. This time he's not targeting just another rival rapper or an industry enemy. He's targeting Diddy, a man who has built his entire image around being untouchable. And when 50 started dragging out those secrets, Diddy completely lost it. You could see it in his reactions. The calm, smooth-talking mogul who always had a witty comeback suddenly wasn't so calm anymore. He was defensive, irritated, and visibly rattled. The very fact that 50 was going after him in such a brutal, unapologetic way seemed to cut through the carefully polished.
He didn't give a fuck. Like, you could tell that he was already.
Nah, New York is dope. Because when Fab, he was like, yo, Fab, we ain't party. Fab was like, nah, we partying tonight.
He's like, no, like, but he didn't party.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, they let that one go? Like, I had to say something about it later because I was like, oh, it was first.
What does it feel like all these years, you being the only one calling this out?
I look like I've been the crazy guy for a long time.
They said you're a hater. They said you're crazy.
You do this, yeah. And now everybody's complaining. My ass is hurting. There's all this shit that's coming.
50, you can't make jokes about it.
No.
The internet might come for you, bro.
All I'm saying is,
might come from you.
You see it now. All of these complaints. People were damn, they were and pillaged. This was what was going on, right? And what do I get for I went through years of a hater. You're a hater. You want this and that. I'm just watching. Like, I look at things and go, when you see the new lawsuit coming with Jay, the part with Jay, I go, oh shoot, like. Then I think about it, I go, that had to be there. So when I was saying that he was missing, he just wasn't actively being out there because they was dealing with that.
Wait, do you think there's truth to the Jay thing? There's no way.
Know, like that. Look, you know what's like if you say, I have this thing where I'm conflicted when it takes you 20 years to remember something happened to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I go also 10 years, 20 years later, that comes back, and it's like all of Puff's problems are coming from the ministers touching little boys.
What you mean?
The laws are the way they are because
Because of the priests.
The priests touching little boys.
Yeah.
Oh.
Why are we looking at me, bro? I
That's
just go to
your
church.
man.
I just go to
That's
church,
your
right? I have
man.
nothing to do with this. I have an alibi.
That's why the laws allow him to go that far back.
Turn away from you right there.
I'm just a Catholic kid. Come
You said you've been diddled, dude.
No.
What's the body of Christ taste like?
It's sacrilegious. You can't do that.
He's like, yo, drink my blood.
Yo.
So it is crazy when after 20 years they come out. That shit is foul.
But with Puffy, you were the only one saying anything for decades.
Yeah, because we had our own little thing.
But you were the only. Everybody else
thing?
was scared.
Huh?
But everybody else is scared. So you think maybe this is a similar thing where everybody else is scared? I don't know what it is. I'm just asking.
I think that they're scared.
But if they're scared,
But
then maybe
you've
that's
been
why I'm thinking.
insinuating Jay-Z a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, you've been saying people gonna come for him a little bit.
No, I thought he would do funky stuff like the Super Bowl. Like, it was not okay for me to be at the Super Bowl.
Oh, he tried to cut that.
Yeah, he didn't want me to. Well, they worked to make like there was an issue with me in the NFL that doesn't exist.
So he did the corporate way of trying to keep you down. Oh, it's not me. It's not.
It's them. And then when M says he's not gonna do it if I'm not there, then
Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know.
That's what I'm
What's
talking
your
about,
and Jay's issue?
It's just competitive stuff.
It's really
music.
just competitive.
This is what I'm saying. When it gets past actual art, like actual music, and you're trying to block something that's in business, then it feels weird. It feels like we should be having beef.
Oh,
okay.
So
I can
that's the
see that.
behind the scenes thing that we don't see. It's one thing when there's like people talking about each other in music, but there's behind the scenes business deals that a guy is getting involved with on the side, and it's not like you're gonna go public and be like, they tried to stop my vitamin water.
Yo, this deal, and you go, he said that to you, like.
Wow.
I get that.
Like, they'll speak to your temperament. Like, say, you know, if 50's a little crazy, he'll say anything. You see what saying anything did to Kanye.
So they're trying. He's basically trying to scare people out of doing deals with you. Interesting. And then M shut it down, and he was like, "Yo, it's got to happen."
Exterior Diddy had built. He wasn't laughing it off. He wasn't ignoring it. He was losing it, and that told the world that maybe, just maybe, 50 was onto something bigger than people realized. Because let's be real, this isn't just about petty drama. This is about disturbing secrets, about hidden truths that threaten to completely rewrite the way the public sees Diddy. 50 Cent has been hinting at those infamous secret parties, the industry games, the things that happened behind closed doors that never made it into the press. He's connecting dots, forcing people to look at old stories with fresh eyes, and framing Diddy not as the genius businessman and cultural icon, but as a man with skeletons so dark they could dismantle everything he's ever built. And the timing couldn't be worse for Diddy, with lawsuits, legal battles, and public scrutiny already circling him like vultures. The last thing he needed was 50 Cent turning his personal life into a public circus, but that's exactly what's happening. 50 is relentless, mocking him, clowning him, but at the same time exposing things that feel.
That's except for one famous friend, Stephen Jordan, aka Stevie J, who's Diddy's longtime friend. After Rodney Lil Jones Jr. filed his federal lawsuit against Diddy earlier this year, in which he referenced Diddy's infamous parties as seemingly the scene of a number of the allegations he now faces, including sex trafficking, forced drugging, and compromising footage of celebrities that have been held as blackmail. Stevie J seemingly responded with a post to Instagram with the caption, "This is what a real Diddy party looks like." The video showed a number of famous faces, including Jay-Z and Beyonce, Kim Kardashian, her then-husband Kanye West, Naomi Campbell, and several others who were all together to celebrate Diddy's 50th birthday in 2019. Fast forward to 2024, 50 was asked why there have been so many silent voices when it comes to celebs speaking out about Diddy, as if they're afraid to speak up. 50 replied in part, "Some of them were involved at the parties and enjoyed themselves, so they don't know what the F is on the tape or what's not on the tape. So they're not going to say anything because they might have had too much fun." And then you've got other people who look at it and go, "Well, that's not my business and I don't want to be in it." Then you got a part of our culture that says that's snitching or dry snitching. It's uncomfortable for me to say what I said because I've been saying this stuff for 4 or 5 years. Everybody else is not going to be as comfortable as I'm saying it. 50 Cent then alleged there's one famous friend that is aware of Diddy's alleged disturbing behavior. R&B legend Mary J. Blige, who got her start at Diddy's Bad Boy Records, has been a longtime friend of the embattled rapper and producer. But she reportedly has a great relationship with 50 Cent as well. When asked if Mary J. Blige reached out to 50, he responded, no. You know what? Mary never reached out to tell me not to F up Puffy because she knows he does that stuff." As Diddy and 50 Cent have long been in the rap game, they share another commonality, and that's 50 Cent's ex-girlfriend and the mother of his youngest son, Daphne Joy Navarez. The actress and OnlyFans model was named in Rodney Jones' suit against Diddy as she was referenced to as an alleged sex worker of Diddy's that also gets paid a monthly stipend. She has denied those allegations in a post made to social media, writing, "I am deeply hurt by the lies in Rodney Jones' lawsuit. The claim that I'm a sex worker is 100% false and character assassination. I am retaining an attorney to explore all legal remedies against both Rodney and his attorney." 50 Cent seemingly poked fun at the allegation of the mother of his son being an alleged sex worker. In a post made to his social media page, 50 wrote a caption, "I didn't know you was a sex worker, you little sex worker, LOL." But this would prompt Daphne Joy to respond to her ex again on social media, but this time would accuse 50 directly of rape and being abusive during their relationship. She would write in part, "Everything is a joke to you until our safety is compromised, which is happening now. You are wreaking real havoc, frenzy, and chaos onto people's lives. How would you feel if Sire was the one in handcuffs? For nothing. Let's put the real focus on your true evil actions of raping me and physically abusing me. You are no longer my oppressor, and my God will handle you from this point on. You have permanently damaged the last hope I had for you as a father to preserve our family with these last and final false claims made against me. You have broken our hearts for the last and final time." Those allegations against 50 Cent would prompt him to fire back against his ex Daphne Joy and sue her for defamation. In his suit, 50 Cent said those allegations were unequivocally false and would claim she made the shocking allegations in retaliation after he moved to take sole custody of their son. Since that suit, Daphne has deleted her Instagram post accusing 50 of rape and physical abuse. 50 Cent was asked by The Hollywood Reporter the latest in the defamation suit. The rapper and television producer said he'd
feel way too specific to just be jokes. That's the brilliance of 50's approach. He mixes humor with hard truths, leaving everyone wondering, is he trolling? Or is he really dropping inside information? The uncertainty alone is enough to make people believe the worst. Diddy's reaction only made things worse. Instead of brushing it off, he became more and more agitated, more reactive, more desperate to maintain control. And every time he slipped, every time he snapped back, it gave 50 even more ammunition. Because 50 knows the golden rule of exposure: when someone really has nothing to hide, they don't panic, they don't lose their composure, but when they do, that's when people start paying attention, and Diddy has been unraveling in front of the entire world. What makes this so damaging is that Diddy's brand has always been built on image. He's the mogul, the entrepreneur, the party king, the man who could make or break careers. He's always controlled the narrative around himself, making sure that people saw the success but not the scandals, the achievements but not the shadows.
But tiptoes around the Daphne stuff and explained why. He said, "I got a family court case. The allegations that came out, she posted things to her page saying some crazy stuff. But this comes 8 hours after I filed for custody for my son. And she put that up in response to that, and I'm like, ugh. In this climate, you know how quickly they pass judgment. Things have worked out since she said those things." He went on to add, "I'd like to respond and say some wild stuff, but I've got to sustain that for my son." 50 was asked if he was worried about the allegations, especially given he's making a docuseries about an alleged abuser. And 50 replied, "It is damaging. It is damaging just to have anything said about you at this point, because you have people out there who don't believe your intentions. And if things are going in a positive direction for you and something pops, they gasp." He went on to say for entertainment purposes, they exploit that as much as possible, but there's no merit to it. But one thing 50 wasn't asked was if he believed Diddy would be formally charged and or potentially indicted for the many allegations he still faces. But attorney Ben Chu, who represented Johnny Depp during his trial against Amber Heard, says he does see an indictment coming down in Diddy's future.
I agree with that. I mean, obviously, I don't have any inside information. I don't think many people do, but I do think the signs are ominous. These are very grave matters. As you know, there have been 2 raids on his properties, and that's obviously very ominous signs for him. Although, interestingly, we haven't seen the indictments yet. There's been some time lag. I suppose it will take some time to go through all the forensic, evidence, but still, these are very serious matters. So, I think he faces some serious reckoning.
Diddy faces a staggering number of civil lawsuits for sexual misconduct, 10 that have been filed since last November. Former adult film star Adria English filed her suit on July 3rd of this year, claiming she was first employed by Combs in 2004 and was groomed into sex trafficking over time. In May of this year, April Lampros filed her lawsuit against Combs, accusing him of battery and sexual assault. 2 days prior to Lampros' suit being filed, Crystal McKinney also filed a suit against Diddy. McKinney alleges she met Combs at a studio where he gave her a lace joint, alcohol, then forced her to the bathroom and forced her to perform oral sex on him. Rodney Jones Jr. filed his lawsuit in federal court in February of this year that accuses Combs and the people who work with him of being part of an illegal racketeering enterprise. He also accused Diddy of sex trafficking, sexual assault, and harassment. Then there's a suit filed by a woman under the moniker Jane Doe, which was filed in December of 2023. Doe alleges she was gang raped and sex trafficked by Combs and former Bad Boy Records president Harve Pierre when she was just 17 years old and in the 11th grade. Liza Gardner filed her lawsuit against Combs and R&B singer Aaron Hall in November of 2023, alleging the two forced her to have sex with them against her will when she was 16 years old. On the same day Gardner's suit was filed, another suit was filed, this one by Joy Dickerson Neal. She alleges Combs intentionally drugged her, then sexually assaulted her and recorded the assault. And then there's the only lawsuit that has been settled, a mere day after it was filed in federal court, and that's the federal lawsuit filed by Diddy's ex-girlfriend, singer and actress Cassandra Ventura, aka Cassie. In Cassie's now settled lawsuit against her ex, she accused Diddy of sexual assault, battery, sex trafficking, and requiring her to engage in forced sexual.
50 Cent is tearing that narrative apart piece by piece. He's dragging the shadows into the spotlight and daring people to look at them. He's saying, "You thought you knew who Diddy was? Think again." And once those kinds of seeds are planted, they're almost impossible to kill. Fans start digging up old footage, old interviews, old rumors that seemed like nothing at the time but suddenly look very different in the light of 50's revelations. Stories that were dismissed as gossip are now being reconsidered. Clips from the past are resurfacing, showing Diddy in a light that's much less flattering, much more sinister. And all of this is happening while 50 keeps pouring gasoline on the fire. The more you look at it, the more you realize that this isn't just 50 Cent trolling for fun. This feels personal. This feels like 50 has made it his mission to dismantle Diddy's empire brick by brick. And the craziest part? He's succeeding. Because in today's culture, perception is everything. It doesn't matter how much money you have. how many businesses you own, or how much power you think you hold. If the public starts to believe the worst about you,
they have been longtime rivals. In 2006, 50 Cent released a diss track about Diddy. So almost 20 years ago, this goes back a long way. And in that diss track, he says, quote, "Who shot Biggie Smalls? We don't get 'em. They gon' kill us all. Man, Puffy know who hit that expletive. Man, that expletive soft." Now 50 is accusing Combs there of knowing who killed his friend, the notorious B.I.G. Christopher Wallace. Wallace and Puffy were incredibly close, but Wallace was shot and killed in a drive-by shooting in Los Angeles in 1997, and no one has ever been charged for pulling the trigger. This all happened during really the height of the East Coast-West Coast rap rivalry of the 90s, which involved Suge Knight, who we mentioned earlier. 50 Cent has also accused Diddy of orchestrating the murder of death row rapper Tupac Shakur, who died in 1996 in a Las Vegas drive-by shooting. This is Dwayne Keefe D. Davis. He was arrested in September 2023, and he is the only person facing charges related to Tupac's murder. But 50 Cent has continued to push the allegation that Sean Combs either knows something or did something for Tupac to end up dead, though Diddy has denied that. But in a 2023 Instagram post, 50 wrote, "Damn, so Pac got lined by Brother Love, LOL, time to lawyer up, expletive might get sticky," with a pic of Suge Knight in a car with Tupac. Diddy, who has a lot of names, Puff Daddy, Puffy, Puff, and Brother Love is one of those other names. Now from Diddy's side of things, again, he's denied having anything to do with Tupac's murder, and he's also denied having anything to do with Christopher Wallace's death, and he's denied publicly having issues with 50 Cent. Here's what Combs said when he was asked about a beef with 50 in a 2018 interview with the radio show The Breakfast Club, Power 105.1 FM.
Hey, yo, I don't have no beef with I don't know why. With Fifth. He loves me. He loves me.
Do y'all really
can't
have
see
a
it?
beef?
I mean, y'all can't see it.
No, we can't see
Y'all
it,
can't
man.
see that he loves me?
But see,
you really, hold on, you really think that's hate?
If you look at 50's social media, you can see he has a lot of posts about Diddy. And this is what he posted the day that federal agents in Miami raided Combs' mansion ahead of his arrest on the charges that he's now on trial for. 50 Cent posted on X, "Now it's not Diddy do it, it's Diddy done. They don't come like that unless they got a case." 50 Cent also included a link to his G-Unit clothing brand in that post. While Diddy in the Breakfast Club clip said that 50 Cent actually loves him and there was never a beef, on the stand this week, Capricorn Clark said otherwise. Clark said that she was at this press event at MTV with Diddy and 50 Cent was also there, all of this happening in New York. Clark said, quote, "After the interview wrapped up, myself, Puff, and Chris Lighty got in the elevator." Clark said that Lighty was an entertainment manager who, on paper, was managing Diddy at the time, but was also 50 Cent's manager at the time. Prosecutors asked Clark what happened in the elevator, and she said, quote, "Puff told Chris, because they were having some sort of issue, like, I really don't like all the back and forth. I don't do that. I like guns." The prosecutor then asked, "What's the issue with an individual?" And Clark responded, he had an issue with 50 Cent. She said Combs was very serious when he said that. In this case, it has become common to hear testimony from witnesses about alleged threats by Diddy. In fact, several witnesses have said that Diddy regularly threatened to fire people, to beat people, like his former girlfriend Cassie Ventura, and in this case, making a threat involving firearms to settle a dispute per the testimony of—
You start to see you as a fraud or a monster. Your empire begins to collapse from the inside, and that's exactly what's happening to Diddy. Every revelation from 50 adds another crack, every sarcastic post adds more pressure, and every angry outburst from Diddy proves that he's not untouchable, not unshakable, but vulnerable in a way he's never shown before. That's what makes this so shocking. Diddy isn't just being exposed, he's being stripped of the very armor he's worn for decades. This is classic 50 Cent, using his platform not just to troll, but to expose. He knows how to hit where it hurts. And this time he's pulling back the curtain on the things Diddy never wanted fans, the media, or the world to know. 50 has been leaving cryptic posts, resurfacing old stories, and outright mocking the scandals that Diddy thought he had buried. And every single post is like a dagger, because it's not just about jokes, it's about credibility. It's about peeling away that billionaire mogul mask and revealing the man underneath, the one drowning in lawsuits, surrounded by betrayal, and cornered by the skeletons in his closet. The tension between Diddy and 50 has always been there, but now it feels like it's reached an explosive breaking point. Diddy, who's always prided himself on being untouchable, suddenly looks vulnerable. He's lashing out, losing his composure, and scrambling as 50 paints him as the villain in a story that's getting darker by the day. And the crazy part is, the more Diddy reacts, the worse it gets for him, because 50 feeds off that. He wants Diddy angry, he wants him rattled. That's when he turns up the pressure, dropping even more disturbing details and making the world question just
someone who was one of his closest associates for more than a decade. Invoking gun violence and some sort of veiled threat, that could be scary for some, but apparently not 50 Cent. On Instagram, 50 posted right after his name came up in the courtroom, quote, cut, wait a minute. Puffy's got a gun? I can't believe this. I don't feel safe, with a picture that looked like an AI image of 50 Cent on a movie set looking serious. And he wasn't done. Shortly after that, he posted another AI image on Instagram of him in a Yankees hat with a very scared look on his face with the caption, "Oh my goodness, itty bitty Diddy wants me dead. I have to lay low." Sad face emoji. I think I'm gonna hide out at the playoff game tonight, LOL. Then the next day he posted what he did that night. He went to the NBA playoff game between the New York Knicks and the Indiana Pacers in Indiana. And you can see him here in a picture on the floor in a shirt that reads, quote, "Free Diddy," playing into the trolling that 50 Cent has done to Sean Combs over the years, even before Combs was ever accused of what he is on trial for. Now, Combs' trial is expected to last another month at least. He's charged with racketeering, sex trafficking by force, and transportation to engage in prostitution. He has pleaded not guilty. Join us now to talk more about the trial of Sean Diddy Combs and everything that's going on inside the courtroom is Afi Patterson, civil and criminal defense attorney. Thanks for taking the time to be with us. We're focusing on what was a minor moment in the grand scheme of everything we heard in the trial this week, but there's this anecdote that Capricorn Clark told about what related to 50 Cent, but what Diddy allegedly told 50 Cent's manager at MTV during her time of working for Diddy. What did you make of that? Sean Combs saying, "I don't like the back and forth, but I like guns."
You know, I think it goes to the overall case. They've been saying that Diddy was a dangerous guy. If he made a threat, he could back it up. And I do recall reading that she said that his demeanor was very, very serious. And knowing the history, knowing his history, his violent history, knowing about the beef between Biggie and Tupac, I think that it probably frightened her. And I think that just again, her knowing about his violence, his propensity for violence, his behavior with her, his behavior with Cassie, his behavior with other employees, he's just continually reinforcing that violence. So I think it was a really good moment for the government.
Yeah, it's just, and it seems like there are these little moments along the way where there are some celebrity names that pop up. This case, it was 50 Cent. We heard earlier in the trial, Usher and Neo were at a dinner where Cassie was allegedly assaulted. It was unclear whether they saw that, but it was said that they were there. As far as the history of 50 Cent and Diddy, do we know how it started? I know that 50 Cent had a diss track, I think around 2006, claiming that Sean Combs knew who killed Biggie Smalls. But is there a particular incident that happened that made 50 Cent just seem to really start to come at Sean Combs?
You know, I don't know what's ground zero for them. I've seen, interviews that 50 has given saying that it's all business with them. I know they both have alcohol lines, and I know, they're both from New York. I think 50 is maybe from Queens and Diddy is from Harlem. I don't know what their ground zero is, but I know that since this all came out, 50 has not stopped. He's been taunting Diddy.
How deep Diddy's secrets go. Because let's not forget, Diddy's career isn't just about music. It's about influence. It's about power. It's about the image of being larger than life. And once that image is shattered, once people start to see you as the villain instead of the hero, the fall is brutal. All it takes is for the public to believe that the man they admired was hiding something dark all along. And suddenly the empire doesn't look so shiny anymore. Suddenly, every achievement looks tainted. Every success looks suspicious. That's why Diddy is losing it completely, because he knows what's at stake. He knows that once the public starts questioning your past, once the dam breaks, there's no controlling the flood. And right now, 50 Cent is the one breaking that dam wide open. Diddy can deny it. He can rage against it. He can try to fight it, but the more he does, the more it proves that 50 has struck a nerve. This isn't just a beef anymore. This is a war of exposure, a war for the truth, a war that could end with Diddy's entire reputation in ruins. And 50 Cent is loving every second of it, because for him, this isn't just about taking shots at an old rival. This is about showing the world that behind the glamour, behind the wealth, behind the carefully crafted image, lies a past so dark, so disturbing, that once it's revealed, there's no coming back from it. And if 50 really has more to say, more secrets to expose, then what we've seen so far is only the beginning. For Diddy, the nightmare has just started.